Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Rob. You're at Bottles and Bites Without Borders. Today we're going to spice things up. We're going to make two salsas. This is just going to be kind of that foundation, those basic, simple salsas that are still delicious. What are we doing? Well, we're going to do a roasted red salsa, and then we're going to do a green salsa, a verde, led by tomatillos. These are both delicious salsas. Let's get into how we make them. So what are we doing today? Well, we're gonna do a red and a green. We're gonna do our red in the roasted kind of style, so we have some smokiness, this depth to this red salsa. And then we're gonna do a green salsa that's gonna be led by tomatillos, which is gonna give it this kind of brightness, this zestiness to it. The heat for both of these salsas are gonna be jalapenos. Very simple, so not a lot of ingredients. So we're gonna have our jalapenos for spice on both. Roma tomatoes, some lime juice. I prefer lime juice over lemon juice. You can use lemon juice if you like, just a lime guy. If you go to Mexico, lime is the citrus of choice, not lemon. Bet you didn't know that. Cilantro, obviously, some tomatillos, some garlic, and then we're gonna have some onion that'll go in here as well. If you hear that, that's the oven getting warmed up to 425 so we can roast the vegetables we're gonna use in the red salsa. So let's get ready to get that going. While those are in the oven getting roasted for about 15 to 20 minutes, we'll start working on our green salsa. All right, we're gonna get our roasting going for these veggies. What I'm going to do is, I'm gonna throw these tomatoes in first and just kind of in a bowl, put a little olive oil on them and then just kind of give them a toss to get them coated. I'm going to put a little olive oil on the bottom here, and boom, just straight onto the cooking sheet. Throw my jalapenos in, do the same thing. A little olive oil. Put those in. Let's set this right here. Let's get an onion. And I'm just going to go a little olive oil on here. Throw those on, leave the skin on. I'm going to take that off at the end. I'm going to get me a couple cloves of garlic and just kind of not take the skin off, but I'm just going to smash it. Get a little olive oil in there. Throw that in there. You know what? I like garlic. Let's go one more. We've got them on a cooking sheet. We've got our veggies covered in a little olive oil. This is going to help them kind of start to roast, develop that crispy layer of skin on the outside that's going to give us that kind of smokiness, that depth of flavor. Let's throw these in the oven. I got the oven at 425. Going to go 15, 20 minutes. We'll check them about probably 13, 14 minutes, kind of see where we're at. May turn them at the 8 or 9 minute mark, see how they're looking. But let's get them in the oven, and we'll get on with the green salsa. All right, for the green salsa, we're gonna boil the veggies. So let's get this cilantro out of the way. Not the onion. We're gonna boil our tomatillos, our tomatoes, and our jalapenos. And that's what's going to go into this salsa. It's gonna be a little spicier. We're gonna have some more jalapenos in there. So what we're going to do is let this come up to temp, start to boil. We're not there yet. And then we'll drop these in for about 10 minutes or so to get nice and soft. Now, what happens is when you take these veggies out, they're going to go right into the blender, and we're going to start, putting this salsa together. But you save this water because obviously you're going to have all this flavor. So if you're a little thick on your green salsa, this is what you can use to put a little in at a time to get that consistency that you want. And when you're adding it to get the consistency, you're also adding a bunch of flavor. Okay, we're about the halfway point for our veggies in the oven. And they're starting to blister a little bit. They haven't started to char at all, but we're gonna leave them go for another 8 minutes and we'll see how they look. All right, our water's getting close. We're gonna let it get to a rolling boil before you put anything in. Tomatillos, they kind of come with this, if you've never had these before, they're in the tomato family. But they have this little husk on them. And when you're looking for them, and you're shopping for them, to me, I always just kind of lift a little of the husk up on the bottom and make sure, because it looks like when I see bad ones, they're always bad here on the bottom first. And then if they're good here, I'll put them in the cart. But all you're going to do is kind of peel these husks off. They're a little sticky. Boom. And I do like Roma tomatoes for my salsas. I mean, you could use a vine tomato or a greenhouse tomato if you wanted. To me, these just a little more solid. They have a little more flesh in them, giving me kind of a little more body, not as watery when I make my salsas, but completely up to you. All right, as you can see by the steam here, we've got the water boiling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get our veggies in. We're going to give these about 10 minutes in here to boil. We're going to get them nice and soft. We'll be ready to start putting this green salsa together. All right, we're going to grab our roasted veggies out of the oven and let's bring them up here and we're going to start putting this together. All right, here we go. I mean, you can already smell the flavor, this depth of flavor, this kind of smokiness to it, which I really enjoy. So we're going to grab some tongs and these are just going to go straight in. No peeling. No dicing or cutting. What I may do just to make room, turn that on, give it a quick pulse to get that in there. Okay, with these jalapenos, all I'm going to do is just grab a little knife, just cut the stem off, and in they go. You can take these onions, get this skin off, and in they go. Oh man, roasted onions smell. Man, it smells so good. You know it. If you've watched the show, it's where we call out Mike, Mr. Scott. All right, give this a quick pulse. Let's get our garlic. Oh yeah. All right, we're going to take this and just set it back here. I thought I'd use the pads, but didn't need to, so we'll get that out of the way there. All right, let's get that garlic kind of mixed in. Let's go with some cilantro. And this is to taste. You know, I usually do just kind of a bunch like that. I like cilantro. I don't want it to be, I just kind of want that hint of cilantro in there, that nice kind of flavor, that balance, if you will. I don't want it to overpower. Sometimes you can put way too much cilantro and it just overpowers the salsa or the dish, whatever it can be. Cilantro is very, very powerful herb. So. All right, we get this mixed up really well in the blender. Now what we're going to do is just going to finishing touches, right? We're going to get some lime juice and we're going to get some salt and some pepper to taste to finish this off. Sometimes with the heat, you kind of got to let this cool down a little bit. You may need to add some salt later. You don't want to add too much too soon because that heat really can cover up the acidity of that salt. So, okay, these are looking good in here boiling. We're at our 10-minute mark, if you can hear the timer in the back. So we'll get ready to pull these off. All right, so we just squeezed one whole lime in, both halves. Got the juice of that in. We're going to put the lid back on, give it another pulse. And our red salsa is done. We're going to get ready to make our green. We're going to put this in a bowl, and I'll show you what it looks like. Let's pour our red salsa in here. And you might be going, well, that doesn't look bright red. No, because we got a lot of jalapenos in there. So it's got that red tint to it. You'll see the green later and how green the green salsa is. This is our red. So that looks really good. Really happy with that. We're going to see how it tastes. But we'll come back and taste it, see if we need to add any more salt. Once we get our green salsa put together, we'll have them side by side. All right, we're going to do the same thing, getting our our green salsa together. I'm going to get a little rubber spider. We're going to go in first with our tomatoes. Then we'll go in with our tomatillos. Let's give this a quick mix. Now we're going to take our jalapenos again, drop those in, cutting the stems off. All right, let's give this a little blend. We're going to go with an onion. Let's go with some cilantro. Let's get this onion out of the way. Smelling pretty good. You know whose name we're going to say? Michael. My hero. Michael Scott. Let's get a little garlic. Geez, that's one big clove of garlic right there. Holy cow. Probably just go one with that bad boy. That might be the biggest clove of garlic I've ever got off a head of garlic. Oh my God, I didn't realize these were so big. May only be 4 or 5 on here, but anyway, in she goes. Let's give that a pulse. All right, let's get the juice of a lime in there. Take that off. Man, I love salsas. You can do so much with them. You know, preference is all it comes down to. Do you like a red or a green? You know, red's going to have a little more acidity, a little bit sweeter because you got more tomatoes in there. Green, a little more zesty, more jalapenos. So typically I find that the green salsas are going to be hotter. The red sauces should be sweeter. But you know, this is again, just that basic foundation for building salsas. You know, you can put whatever you want in here. You can put some fruit like mango and things like that. You could put different peppers, a serrano or a habanero if you like a little heat. Add some more jalapenos. So really playing with these chunky or more of a runny or smoother style salsas, all completely up to you. Have fun with it, man. That's what I would say. But this is just your foundation. All right, juice of a lime. All right, we're gonna get the lid on, blend it up one more time. That's our green salsa. We're gonna put this in a bowl. We'll get our red and our green out. We'll take a bite of each, see what we think. If we need any finishing, oh, I forgot, salt and pepper in here. Hold on. Let's go with some pepper. With a little salt. Boom, again, I don't wanna put too much because the heat, can't really taste it as well. We gotta let this cool down, so I'm gonna start there. We'll let it cool down and we'll adjust when we get it on the board. Little blend. We're gonna set up our board. We'll get both sauces over here. We'll give them a little test try and we'll see what we think. Be right back. All right, let's pour the green. All right, we're gonna get both sauces out here. We'll get some chips. We're gonna come back and try these, see what we think. All right, salsas are done, looking good. We've got our red, got our green, 2 different flavor profiles. Again, this is just a simple kind of foundation for starting to build salsas. These go great with, you know, tacos. They go great with just chips and salsa. They go great on, if you're gonna put these on huevos rancheros in the morning or on scrambled eggs or something like that. I mean, again, salsa, one of the greatest condiments, goes with so many things, packed with flavor. Really enjoy them, very versatile, can get creative, can come up with some great flavor profiles. And these are 2 kind of standard basic salsas to start working from. Let's see what we think about them. All right, the red has been out a little bit longer, so I'm gonna dive into that one first. Hoping it's cooled down a little bit. I don't mind a warm salsa, but salsas are made to be eaten cool or cold. Okay, the red is delicious. Really like this. Now it's still a little warm. I think as this cools down, we throw it in the fridge for a couple hours. Those flavors are gonna tighten up a little bit. We're gonna get a little bit more spice. I don't think it's gonna be too spicy. You really get this nice sweetness from the tomatoes, good acidity, But then at the back, when you're starting to swallow, you just get this little bit of heat on the back of the palate, which I really like. Makes you think you're eating salsa, but it's not gonna, burn the palate and make you start sweating. This is really good. This is gonna add flavor to whatever you might be putting it on with a little bit of kick. Really nice red salsa. Let's go to the green. All right, this green salsa is fantastic. Salt, perfect, really well balanced. You get the cilantro, you get that garlic that's in there. The heat is really good. If you like heat, this is the salsa for you. Obviously, you saw us. We put in more jalapenos in this one. But it's got this freshness, this brightness, this zestiness to it, which is completely different than this kind of depth and a little bit of smokiness to this one. So that's what makes salsas great. You can do different variations, but the heat's kicking on this one, and I like that. It's not overpowering. I think if you're a salsa person, you're still not going to start breaking out in sweat. It's just jalapenos, but really has some good flavor with a much more heat than you would with the red one. Both are delicious. I made both because we have a group of people coming over today. We're going to do some fajitas, and I figure we better have options for salsa. So, hey, appreciate you guys watching this. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Really appreciate it. Hit that notification bell. We'll let you know when we're putting out more videos. Thank you so much for checking this one out. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.